And welcome to In-Game Chat for Saturday, October the 8th, 2022. It is Season 16, Episode 34. I'm Scott.
And I'm RJ.
And welcome into the show. If you'd like to get in touch with us, our phone number is 334-272-9228, 334-272-9228. Check out ingamechat.net for all the links to get in touch with us. You can find us on Twitter at InGameChat. You can also find us on Facebook there as well. You can email us, everyone, at ingamechat.net. We are streaming right now on the webcam or on Twitch. So if you go over to twitch.tv, you can type in InGameChat. You'll be able to find us and watch us live while we broadcast. And you can join in the chat room. Bama Brian's already in there, I can see, but there are probably some more who are hanging out as well. So why not join them and talk about the show or whatever you would like to talk about in there. Usually we'll pull from the chat room when it goes with the discussion or sparks a discussion. Either way, we're there for you. That'll also happen in Discord, which I'm pointing over here on the camera. That's because I have the Discord screen up over here. And if anybody would like to join in there, you can actually join us on the air and talk about whatever you'd like to talk about video game-wise through Discord. All of this stuff can be found at our website. If you go to ingamechat.net, you'll be able to see all the links to join our Discord, our YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel, our iTunes link. Everything you need is there at our website for you to connect with us, or at least subscribe, whatever that sort of stuff means in the social digital world. Let's clap for a moment. We did. We're done. Thanks for that moment of clapping. Anyway, welcome into the show. And yeah, been a busy couple of days for me. So, fairs in town.
Oh, work-related stuff now?
Yeah. Yeah, fairs in town. Yeah. So, in fact, I just got back. My shift today was from noon to 2. So, yeah, did that and came straight over here. We already have a phone call, so why don't we go to it and talk to whoever this might be. Hi, who's this?
This is Chris.
Oh, hey, Chris. What's going on, man?
I've been playing a new game I got half off on the PlayStation, Weird West from Devolver Digital.
I've heard of that.
It's really fun.
Yeah, well, what kind of style is it?
It's like a Diablo Western, gun shooting, it's kind of hard to explain, but it's got some storylines where you go through 5 different characters, and you can have the previous character that you played through join up as one of your team members and stuff. But you're like a vigilante and stuff, where you can go through town, kind of like in Red Dead Redemption 2, and do bounties and stuff like this, and go after people and either capture them or kill them and bring them back and get a reward for them. But it's pretty fun, but it has like a grid style, like inventory system, kind of like the Diablo series, and it's an overhead kind of over third.
I was about to say, it's not a third-person type shooter like Red Dead. It's more of an overhead view, top-down shooter.
Like
yeah,
top-down,
yeah.
But yeah, I've been enjoying it and everything. You get different perk cards to increase your different abilities for each character, and then skills and stuff. And the skills carry over for every character that you're playing. So And you can get different ranked weapons and increase their damage and upgrade them and stuff, and then get different types of leather armor, made from either deer hide or bear hide and stuff. It's real fun.
You said you got it on a discount?
Yeah, it was like 50% off on PlayStation 4, the digital edition of it on the PlayStation Network.
What did that make it?
It's like $20.
Okay. I was just curious.
Yeah. Does it control like a zombie apocalypse or maybe like a Robotron 2047?
Yeah, the left stick controls your character, and then you pull the left R2 trigger down to start aiming, and you can use the right analog stick to actually, it's like a twin stick shooter, but
yeah,
I've been enjoying the heck out of it.
Yeah, that's the term I was looking for, the twin stick shooter. Yeah, but it looks interesting. Is it kind of like a Halloween that's stated? Because I look at the logo and look at the images here.
I guess it kind of could. It's got a weird story to it, but I've been really hadn't done enough of the story. I've been messing around and scavenging and powering up my characters and stuff, and just having a ball just messing around.
Mm-hmm. So it's nothing like a cult or anything like that. It's just a Western top-down shooter.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Looks interesting, but it's on discount. But just got on discount.
Yeah, I think it was.
Okay.
I'd have to look on there now, but yeah, I bought it just a couple of days ago.
All right.
I think Tuesdays, anyways, when stuff resets on PlayStation Store. Anyway.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. All right. Well, good. What else? Anything else?
Oh, not much. Just this and that, and watching anime on the Crunchyroll subscription. I finally decided to subscribe to that service, and been watching a bunch of different series and this and that on it. Mm-hmm. Mainly the Dragon Quest animated series. That one's getting real good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that was how many episodes is that one going to be?
Oh, it's already like 96 episodes, and I'm in around 75 or 76, something like there, and it keeps having twists and turns in the storyline that it just keeps pulling you back in more and more, and you just never know what's coming around the corner. There's a lot of different moments that make your jaw drop, and like, wow, you didn't expect things like that to happen.
But yeah, you don't usually see that in series that goes over 50 episodes in my experience.
That's a lot.
It's usually a lot of filler, but if it's something that keeps you interested, that's good. A lot of series like One Piece, Bleach, things like that, Detective Conan, like 200 plus episodes, things like that.
Yeah.
And people try to tell you, like episode 111 is a good starting point. I'm like, no. Episode 1 is the starting point, and there's too many episodes for me to try to catch up.
Right,
so
yeah, I know.
I'll just have to get the cliff notes.
It's a daunting task.
Yeah, it is.
Well, if you're interested in checking this one out, RJ, the storyline moves very fast, and there's really no episodes that have filler. I mean, it's point to point. It's really stepping through the storyline really quickly, so it's always engaging and entertaining. And there's like,
now you said it was Dragon Quest, right?
Yeah,
No,
Dragon Quest. Yeah, it's got English subtitles. It's in Japanese.
Was that God? Wasn't that a game on Nintendo a long time ago?
Yeah, it's been a big series since Nintendo. I mean, they've got like 12 or 13 different games to the whole series.
Okay, so the anime came first and then the game was based, or is it the other way?
No, the game came first and the anime was based on it. Supposedly, from when I dug back up on this animated series, the original release of it was in the early 90s, and it never did come over here to America. And then here recently, a couple years ago in 2020, they redid it and remastered the animation and redid the anime, and like double the amount of episodes that but it's the same story and everything. They changed a few things, but they basically just reworked it like some of the remakes of the different games that we have here and there. Mm-hmm. And they, what I've seen so far, I've been loving it, and I've been watching like 5 or 6 episodes tonight, and I just want to keep staying up later and later and keep watching, to see what's going on next. But it's always pulling me in.
That's good to hear, man. Good to see that got your interest and keeps you interested.
Yeah.
That's a good thing for a series to have, especially a long one.
Yeah, I mean, considering the other ones I've seen, there are a whole lot, like Bleach and the other ones that are especially like Naruto. Lord have mercy.
Right.
Those are hundreds and hundreds of episodes, but this is only around 100 episodes. But like I said, this one moves very quickly,
Yeah,
a whole lot faster than the other series do.
Yeah, Naruto's big enough to have a second generation now.
Shoot, yeah, there's original Naruto, then the Naruto Shippuden came out, and then he got married and had his son, which that was the Boruto series.
Yeah,
and
Boruto
it
now.
just keeps going and going.
All right, Chris. Well, good to hear from you, man.
All right, well, y'all have a good weekend, and we'll see y'all later.
You too. Take care.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. All right, so we're being told there's a lot of hum. And so what I'm going to do is
Fix it.
I'm going to switch out the plug here. Now, we are going to drop audio for those on the stream, but we should pick it back up. And what I'll need to know is, does it sound better or worse? Which way is it going to be? So this will be real quick. Okay. I don't know if this helped. I don't know if it made it worse, but we are on a different input or different plug-in. So, yeah. I don't know. It may still be there, but we'll find out. Let's see. Where are we? Anyway, we'll take it from here. All right. So we're getting better, apparently. All right. Well, good. Good. All right. We'll just use that then for a little bit and see how that goes. All right, so let's get back to what we've been playing or what you've played, because everybody knows what I've been playing, which is just Destiny. That is it. Mm-hmm. And the Grandmasters have kicked off today or this week with the Nightfalls and stuff. So, yeah, those will be my goal. We're going to try one of the Master Challenges in the raid tonight. We tried one last weekend and did not do it. We weren't able to output the damage that we needed to. So, we'll see and see how it goes. For tonight. Let's see. RJ, what about you? What have you been playing?
More of the ring. So that Virtual Fighter 5. I went up a rank online. Recently. So I just got to keep plugging away and see how far I can get in there before I hit that wall, so to speak. Other than that, I felt a little nostalgic and I played Max Payne 3.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Pulled out the PS3 and started playing that again. Had a little mood for a dark noir style story, so I started playing that again. I keep hearing things about remakes and things of that nature, but I always thought about what would happen if I played the game on PC, and my computer should be able to handle it.
Max Payne 3?
Max Payne 3 should be able to handle that. So I was thinking about getting that on Steam, because I have played Max Payne on the PC before. I think it was the first one on PC. It was like a really good deal.
Oh,
I just did it like that.
I built a PC to play Max Payne.
The original Max Payne?
Yeah, with the mods and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. But I was having a really good time with it. There were some things that I missed going through that game. They call it the section called the grinds, like picking up things like the golden gun pieces.
Yeah.
There were some things that I missed here and there. Haven't unlocked hardcore or old school difficulty. So that would be something to shoot for, see if I could do that. But just maybe reminisce and think about all the good times I've had with that entire series, Max Payne. And now I'm thinking about if is there a compilation or if there's a remake in the mix or anything else that could get me getting more of that feeling of nostalgia for that entire series. Back when Rockstar was really pumping out some really good titles, man.
Yep. I don't think. I think they did say we're getting another Max Payne. No. Maybe I was thinking it was Alan Wake, which I know we are getting that. But I thought maybe we were getting something. I thought there was something we were getting in the Max Payne world, be it another movie or something, some other kind of media for it. Maybe I can't remember.
What was your feeling on that movie they made?
I don't remember liking it.
Too much of a
I saw it one time, man. I never went back and watched it again. So
yeah, it was
and that was years ago, and years and years ago.
Yeah, Wahlberg and Kunis playing the roles in that thing. But yeah, I think the general consensus for it was if you're not a fan of the series, you might think it's okay. But if you know what it's referencing, you don't. It didn't pull you in. Too much of a, for me anyway, too deviated too much from the source material. So,
Speaking of games getting series, there, I think we found out that the Medium is getting a series. Yeah, the Medium is getting a TV series. Medium was a Bloober Team, I think, is the name. That was the development team who did the Medium. Yeah, Bloober Team said it signed a contract with a Polish VFX studio. Who else? An executive producer for the first season of The Witcher on Netflix is going to be involved with this. So, yeah. I don't know enough about the Medium. I played a little bit of that on Game Pass. So I don't really know enough to tell you exactly how this will completely work. Kind of reminds me of the Medium. If they take the concept of what's going on and just use that to develop episodes with, that's fine. If they're trying to adapt the game into a series and follow the storyline of the game, then that has a beginning, middle, and an end type thing. So are you just going to use season 1 to adapt the game? It's kind of like my question with Last of Us.
Yeah.
Are you adapting the game? And if so, how far do you go in season 1? Is this a long journey process where we'll eventually get through the game after a few seasons, story-wise, in a show? Or is this just you're knocking it all out in the first season, you're getting game 1 done? And then what do you do? Game 2? And then what do you do? I don't know. Unless, of course, they go with game 2 and then just make game 2 longer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, let's take the sequel and we will capitalize on the length and everything else, and we'll just make a few seasons that cover season 2.
Or just make it up as they go along and embellish as much as they can.
Yeah, I know. Very
That's
Walking Dead-ish. Which, I mean, if they can do that and they can still, make it an interesting or engaging.
Yeah, if you do that, make a good story.
Yeah, if you can still do it and make it engaging, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Entertain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is that. Let's see, what else was there as far as video games becoming other media? There was the teaser for Super Mario Brothers, the movie, and not the movie that everybody knows of, but the other movie, the animated film that Nintendo partnered with Illumination, who does the Despicable Me and Minions and those things, and they're doing a Super Mario Brothers movie. First little teaser was released on Thursday, I think it's part of New York City Comic Con, and I was perfectly fine with it. Some of the character, I say models, but some of the character designs had leaked as far as Mario's design, the way he looked and everything.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine. Have no problem with it. Nothing about him seems, it's not a Sonic problem. In fact, after watching the teaser trailer, I don't see a Sonic problem whatsoever from what I've seen. There's other characters to be introduced here, but so far we had a look at Mario, Luigi, the Toad, Bowser, and others, and they seem, you're fine. There's no need to go back and redo this. I think you're good. So and that's probably one of the better. You're probably safer doing it the way they're doing it, which is all it's just a computer animated film, cartoon, I guess, if you want to call it that. Whereas Sonic tried to live action the thing.
Yeah, they tried to be too realistic.
Yeah.
And that backfired.
Which worked well. It backfired until they fixed it. And then when they fixed it, it's been fine.
Yeah.
They did good with the first. They did good with the second, mostly. And so I guess wherever they go from there, I think they'll be fine. So, yeah. And I think this Mario movie, I think it'll be pretty big for them. For both Nintendo and Illumination. First off, Illumination's using a property that is worldwide known. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So don't mess it up.
Yeah, there is.
Especially with Nintendo involved.
Well, Nintendo's involved, which is why I don't think they're going to mess it up.
Don't put messing up past anybody. Man.
Well, I get it, but I know that Nintendo is very, very, they're big sticklers on their properties.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. With Nintendo involved, don't mess this up.
Yeah. Now, from everything that I've seen, and look, from everything everybody has seen, it has only been 90 seconds of footage. Yeah. 90 seconds. Some dialogue from Bowser, some very small dialogue from Mario, some very small dialogue from Toad. That's it. That's all anybody has ever seen. So if you're surfing through the internet, as you were to do back in the early 90s, and you're coming across opinion pieces on voice work or animation or anything like that, you've seen 90 seconds, if that, of it. So, yeah, hold your thoughts.
Look, we live in a day and age where 2 seconds will get enough people talking.
I get it. I know. It's that whole short attention span that everybody has where it only takes, I know. You know how long it takes for people to hear a song before they think, yeah. I mean, it's not very long.
Yeah, it's like name that tune. I can name it in one note. Yeah.
You know, I've listened to plenty of music here working in radio over the years to listen to, like, I hear something there, I don't. Within like the first 15 seconds of a song, you know, but you never should go on that. You should at least get to the hook and see if there's a good hook. If there is, great. But if there's not, move on. But anyway, 90 seconds of the thing, and it's not enough to make a judgment call on. So, at all.
Shouldn't be, but we know the truth.
No. And we never finished your thoughts on what else you had played, because you had talked about Max Payne. Was there anything?
That was pretty much it.
Was that pretty much it?
Elden Ring, Virtua Fighter, and Max Payne 3.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, then. And for me, like I said, it was Destiny, so there you go. Anyway, I'm glad this is sounding better, and I know that a few people said that the stream on News Talk sounds really, really good. I would love to get that to you. I would love to somehow get that audio for you. But yeah, and so we'll do with this, and I'll try and clean it up for you.
There was some way to get Discord level sound quality on that stream, man.
I don't know. I'm starting to think about it, and which I don't really need to, because I got more show to talk about and try and figure out a solution to this thing. So anyway, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll jump into some of the news here, which we have some. There was nothing major as far as the big stuff that we had last week with, oh God, now I'm drawing a blank on the big stuff that we had last week. Oh, Stadia Stadia being done. Then we had graphics cards before that, and then we had the NVIDIA split from EVGA before that. So yeah, I know it's been kind of a nice little bomb drop of news week after week, but I don't think we got anything here. I've got all the news here for you. I can't say that Need for Speed Unbound is a bomb drop. The Mario movie trailer I can't say is a bomb drop because it's only 90 seconds. What else do we have? Steam Deck, Dead Space gameplay trailer that we got as well. So yeah, there's some stuff. There's some stuff here. Not some big stuff, but stuff. And we're gonna get to it when we come back. Remember, it is spooky season all month long. And so we're going to be playing music from your spooky games, or music that sounds like it comes from your spooky games, whether it be intense or even just playful. And this first one, I guess, would be playful, although it's pretty intense in the music department. It is from Binding of Isaac. It is the credits music there at the end of Binding of Isaac. So we'll be back with more of In-Game Chat right after this. Welcome back to In-Game Chat. Music here is from Animal Crossing New Horizons, their Halloween event. Which I think you only hear this on Halloween night in the game.
Yeah.
Unless there may be a way that you can change the music in the game. I think there is. I don't necessarily know that you can pick this to play throughout the game, but I know there is a way that you can change like the music on the island. It costs like in-game currency to get it changed or blah, blah, blah. I don't know what the situation is, but I don't know if Halloween is one that you can pick to do that with. But yeah, so there you go. Animal Crossing New Horizons with the Halloween music. So welcome in to the show again. And let's just go down some of the news that we had. I mean, we'll start from, you know what? There was some stuff from, I think, last night or this morning that I was not able to get into the show there. And, okay. Yeah, I know what that is. It's about Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. And when we get to, it has to do with one of the other stories that are that's in our little list here. And when we get to that, I'll remember to bring that up. The first thing is that God of War Ragnarok has gone gold. And if you're wondering what that means, it just means that the disc is ready for mass production. They have finished. The game is finished, is essentially what that means. So they're going to have to go into mass production on the discs, pressing and everything, all that stuff, and it'll be ready for shipping in November. I don't remember what the release date is, but it is sometime in November, and it'll be ready to go then. So yeah, it is. It's ready to play. What else do we get? You were just talking about it during the break. The Florida woman, who confessed to murdering her sister for flirting with her boyfriend in a video game.
Yeah. Just another one of those disconnect with reality stories.
Yeah, a 21-year-old was arrested by Orange County deputies on the evening of September 26 after calling police to report and confess to the crime about 15 hours after it had happened. Shared a room and a bed with her 20-year-old sister, who they both played the game. Investigators say that she regularly witnessed her long-distance boyfriend and her sister playing the game together and perceived chat messages between the two as inappropriately flirtatious. Apparently, she confronted both of them regarding their relationship. It seems that she never stopped regarding the pair's bond as a threat. After learning, or at least coming to believe, that her boyfriend had told her sister that he loved her, she purchased a dagger-style knife set. Wow. She purchased a dagger-style knife set off of Amazon and hid it for weeks, planning to attack her sister while the rest of the household slept. Oh, my God. She eventually murdered her in the early hours of September the 26th. Wow. 15 hours later, she called the police, reported the death, and confessed her crime. Wow. Faces first-degree murder charges. That part, like, she's 21, I guess, and a gun is just too expensive to go out and buy. So went on Amazon and bought a dagger-style knife set. And did it that way. God. Yeah. Ugh. Okay. Now that that's out of the way, which is what she said after she finished. I mean, like, what do you do? What do you do after that? That's like I get the rage that you may have in you at the time it's going on, but if you can put yourself in your shoes of, like, you have that desire, I'm going to go, I'm just going to take that person out. All right. So put it in your head that you've already done that, right? Mm-hmm. Just put that in your head. You went, it's like, put it in your head about how you're going to do it. So you're going to get a knife set off Amazon. So it's going to be real messy. But once you're done, what do you do next? What happens next? You know, what's your next step, and where do you go from there? And how long can you play that out in your head to see how far it goes before it's, before you realize you get to that point where it's like, I never should have done this, and none of all this would have happened.
Oh yeah, how long does it take for you to regret your decision?
Right.
Well, like the article said, it took her 15 hours later to report the death.
Yeah, but it makes me wonder what was going on in those 15 hours. Did she go back to sleep? Did she try to do something with the body? Did she talk to the boyfriend? Did she just try and figure out, like, what am I going to do? How am I going to hide this? Or how am I going to report this? Or what happens next? Exactly. Did not think through to the other part of that to figure out what to do. When in reality would know that,
I want to say she wasn't thinking.
Obviously you're not, but would know that, wow, I have nowhere to go from here.
Yeah, you're stuck.
Probably best that I don't do this thing that I'm driven to do, but whatever. I'm trying to rationalize something that you can't, so sorry. I'll stop that. Yeah, her boyfriend's long. Bama Bryan was like, she did nothing to the boyfriend. The boyfriend's long distance.
Yeah.
So, I don't know their history. I don't know any other details than just what I just read to you. There's likely a possibility they have actually never even met. Mm-hmm. Only met through the game.
I was just about to ask you, are they in a relationship really?
Well, now, no, probably not.
No, were they in a relationship? That's what I mean. Like,
yeah.
Like, you ever think that one person thinks they're in a relationship and the other person is like totally oblivious to that?
Who knows? I don't know.
Who knows?
I had the story up there, but I don't remember if how long they had been in their relationship, whatever the case may be, before this started happening.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah,
Although that guy really avoided, if he was in some sort of relationship with her, he probably got to that. He got through this and thought, wow, glad I didn't go further with that relationship.
Yeah, but unfortunately for her sister, she didn't.
Oh, it's just horrible. Yeah. I'm glad I'm an only child. Anyway, next thing on the list. We were talking about Need for Speed Unbound. It is the new Need for Speed. There were leaks after leaks after leaks. And then finally, EA said, look, we're going to reveal the trailer coming up this week. We got the trailer. It is it's almost as long as the Mario trailer. It's like 2 minutes, 90 seconds, something like that. There is maybe a few seconds of gameplay, but I can't tell you that because I don't know, because I don't see, there's so much that isn't gameplay. It's hard to tell that if that few seconds actually turns out to be gameplay. Mm-hmm. If it is, and even if it isn't, I would like to see more. I really would. I would like to see dedicated gameplay, like legit gameplay.
Yeah,
like a trailer that releases and said, here's your gameplay of Need for Speed Unbound. You get to see it in action and like, okay, that's how it works. Okay, I'm down.
It's one of your biggest gripes about the new trailer that has nothing but cutscenes.
Yeah, no, it's my gripe for a lot of those things where it's like they just don't show, and people go nuts, or at least some people go nuts. I think we're gotten to the point where most people are looking for that now. They're looking for that gameplay. Mm-hmm. They realize that what they're seeing is like, okay, you're trying to show off your concept, but if this isn't, that's not gameplay. I don't care. Mm-hmm. You can tell me, you can show off your concept if you show gameplay, what you're trying to convey. So that's my thought anyway.
What's the terminology? Call one the teaser and one the actual. What's a teaser and trailer? Like one has just cutscenes, one has actual gameplay.
Yeah.
You call it a teaser, a trailer, or a preview?
Preview probably.
Yeah, preview would be something with gameplay in it. Yeah,
likely. But that's my thought. Is that I just need to see more. It is Criterion developed, mm-hmm. and I am massive fans of theirs, as you know.
Yeah.
And so I am willing to give them the benefit of the doubt and say, okay, but I'd like to see more. I'd like to see more gameplay. Mm-hmm. I'd like to see how it works, how it plays, and then even when I get that, I'll still want to play it to see how it feels, to see if it's got that Criterion arcadiness to it, that sort of thing, the drifting and the sliding and the speeding and everything else? Does it give me that sense of speed, that sense of really good speed that Criterion was very good at with Burnout? Somewhat. From what I understand and from what I've read, that the most successful of the Need for Speed series that took place kind of after they went back to the well a bit were the ones that Criterion produced. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, and there was another Need for Speed something that they did, and I can't remember what the other one was. It may have just been Need for Speed when they did
Rivals?
No. Some people
Most
from...
Wanted?
Most Wanted, yes.
Okay.
Need for Speed Hot Pursuit and Need for Speed Most Wanted. Yes, you're exactly right. It was those two that Criterion did that were very successful. Everything else that came after that was not Criterion. Maybe it was Ghost. Ghost was a development house with EA, Ghost Games, which is no longer. But some other development companies worked on Need for Speed games, didn't do very well. Need for Speed is not a game that I'm normally drawn to.
Yeah, I think I'm going to play one, The Run.
Yeah, but it's got Criterion behind it, and so I want to, I'm willing to give it that opportunity. I am, anyway. So, yeah. Let's see, there's a lot of cars that are going to be out for Need for Speed Unbound, which is the name of it, Need for Speed Unbound. It's got an interesting, the aesthetic to it is interesting, whatever they may be trying to do. Some... I don't know how I would describe it. Like, it looks, it's trying not necessarily to look real, but it looks like a video game racing thing would look. But it's also got some accents to it, some stylized type stuff going on.
Looks like Jet Set Radio.
Yeah. Something like that. So I'm anxious to see more of that. And to see what they're going to do with it. But that's just me.
Oh, it very much looks like Jet Set Radio. the more images I'm looking at.
Well, you're looking at images. If you find the trailer, you can see it in motion. But yes, that's a good comparison to it. I think it is. What else do we have? We talked about Mario's first trailer. Lethal Migraine mentioned this in the chat room, talking about the EU sent out some questionnaires to EU gaming companies about the Microsoft deal. And then Thar66 said Brazil accepted that deal this week, and yes, they did. Brazil has approved the Microsoft acquisition of Activision and Blizzard as well. In fact, Xbox launched a website to show the benefits of the Activision Blizzard buyout. I'm going to that website now for the very first time. Benefits of Xbox plus Activision Blizzard. Benefits for players. More games on more devices, including Xbox, PlayStation, phone, and online. Choice in how and where people buy games with subscription and one-off purchase options. For the 95% of gamers who play on phones, alternatives to gaming offerings from the dominant mobile platforms. Benefits for game creators, more ways to get games in front of more players through support, investment, and better access to gamers, better revenue and fair marketplace rules through their App Store principles, greater flexibility in payment systems and the experience they provide their fans, and benefits for the gaming industry, more competition in mobile where a couple of big players dominate, greater competition in traditional gaming where Sony and Nintendo will remain the biggest, and they do, interestingly enough. I can't remember the article that I read or have a link for it, but even with all these studios that Microsoft keeps gobbling up, Nintendo and Sony are still the biggest in the gaming world, I guess. The benefits for the gaming industry, the final one there is emphasis on positive workplace culture and increased local investment from Microsoft in studios and creative ecosystems around the world. That's a whole lot of PR speak. The positive workplace culture, though, seems like a direct, point towards the way Activision Blizzard has handled their employees. Which there was some more sketchy stuff that was out today, or I say today, but that was revealed this week. They withheld raises. Activision Blizzard withheld raises from union campaigners. Following investigations, the National Labor Relations Board has found that Activision Blizzard withheld raises for the QA testers at Raven Software, campaigning to form a union. So they were threatening to form a union, and Activision Blizzard said, well, then we're not going to give you your raise. Actually, they didn't say that because that's what was going on. They just denied the raise, specifically to those people.
For some unknown reason, we decided to withhold your raises. Yeah.
Yeah. Per the Washington Post, Activision Blizzard and the QA testers from Raven Software will now continue with their negotiations to agree to a collective bargaining agreement. However, if the two parties cannot settle upon an agreement, the National Labor Relations Board can issue a complaint against Activision Blizzard. Another option would be for them to prosecute the case before a federal judge should the company refuse to settle, although this, they say, is deemed very unlikely. Chairman of NLRB, former chairman, stated the news was a very preliminary win for the union, noting it gave the QA testers a little bit of leverage going forward. It's part of their tactics, hit them where they can to put pressure on the company in order to reach an agreement with them and to stop violating the law. So, Activision Blizzard declined to comment. Of course they did. Yeah, man. I'm
How much more is going to come out?
I know. Every time I hear these things, I'm more and more grateful that somebody bought the company. And Microsoft, sure. If it had to be them, fine. It could have been somebody else, and that would have been fine too. But somebody, get this company away from Bobby Kotick. Get him out of there. I know he's going to make a ton of money when they get him out of there. But so be it. Just to get him away from there. So... what else do we have going on? Are we close to the... No, we're not. This is a story from PC Gamer talking about Sony and their PC plans. It seems like by the way, it seems like the whole thing's going to be... It'll be a year before a game comes from Sony, PlayStation 5 to PC. In other words, at least a year before they'll do that. I'm reading here. Let's see. Herman Hulst, head of PlayStation Studios, kept his cards close to the chest in a brief interview when speaking about continuing its push to PC and mobile. Further investments in areas that will strengthen the expansion onto PC, onto mobile, and into live services, that's definitely a possibility for us, he said. And that is all, he said. Whether he is winking towards investments already in the pipeline or simply making a throwaway comment is unclear. Seems strange for him to be so generic about potential plans for PC, considering evidence pointing towards it being an incredibly strong market for them. A business segment briefing earlier this year showed that Sony made $80 million from PC sales in 2021's financial year, and they're expecting that number to skyrocket to $300 million by the end of 2022. I guess because, Spider-Man got released, I think? Add to that its recent acquisition of PC port developer Nix's software, and it really does feel like it wants to take the platform seriously, despite the weird lack of commitment in Hulst's comment. Yeah, it was kind of a throwaway comment. Outside of PC possibilities, Hulst also touched upon branching out beyond the video game medium when discussing Sony's recent minority stake in From Software. You should think of collaborations on the game development side first and foremost, but it's also not unthinkable with our PlayStation Productions efforts that we explore opportunities, he said in another vague statement, even if the idea of an Elden Ring show or movie sounds pretty good. So, that's what we know about Sony. And their PC plans, which ain't much. Anyway, we've got some other news that we're going to be getting to. We're getting close to the top of the hour here, like the fact that Sony is still trying to convince people to, I say convince people, but to convince governments or whatever, whoever it is, to kind of halt this whole Microsoft Activision Blizzard acquisition. They're still trying to make that a thing. We might be getting a remaster of a game coming to PS5 that doesn't seem like it's old enough to be getting a remaster, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, there's a lot of games that
I know
deserves a remaster.
Especially before you get to that, yeah. Steam Decks are available now without a wait. Used to have to get on a reservation thing, but now no longer. You can go ahead and outright buy a Steam Deck. If you go to Steam's store page, you can just buy one, and it's like 1 to 2 weeks for shipping or something like that. They're available now. You don't have to. The docking station for the Steam Deck is also now available as well. So you can get that. That was an interesting one that I had in there. I think I have in the news thing where they had to pull the a promotional video for the docking deck. Or the whatever it is, the docking of the Steam Deck thing, because the Steam Deck was showing, and I don't know if Steam did this, I don't know why they didn't catch this. The Steam Deck is showing Switch emulation running. Somebody is emulating the Switch on the Steam Deck in the promotional video for the docking mechanism.
Oops.
How does that get by? How?
Someone's not paying attention?
I guess, unless they hired a third party to do a video for it. But usually Steam's pretty good about their videos.
Usually, yeah.
Whenever they have to do stuff like that. So I thought that was interesting. I don't have it in here, but I do have it in this article, again from PC Gamer. Valve published an upbeat Steam Deck video on Thursday announcing that it had its handheld PC, gaming PC was finally available to order without reservation. It also celebrated the arrival of the Steam Deck dock and OS improvements that make the deck work better with external displays. But somebody on Twitter spotted something surprising in the Steam Deck library in Valve's video, an icon for Nintendo Switch emulator. Let's see. I don't. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, it's all right. Yeah. After the tweet got after the tweet got a couple thousand retweets Friday morning, Valve delisted the video and uploaded a new version without that emulator software. The original video is now set to private.
Too late.
Yeah, I know. The name of the software is called Yuzu, or I guess it's YUZU. It is a legal open source piece of software, but not one that Nintendo is exactly thrilled exists. Back in March, when Steam Deck reviews first landed, Nintendo started issuing DMCA takedowns on YouTube videos that showed Nintendo Switch games running on Valve's handheld. Apparently, Nintendo eased up on those takedowns because you can find a lot more of those videos on YouTube now. Still, considering Valve and Nintendo have friendly enough relationship to put Portal on the Switch, the safe political move here is probably not endorsing a emulation software on their Steam Deck where you could play Switch games, I guess. So that was it. Okay, so, well, that makes better sense. That it was just a piece of software that they didn't really pay attention to. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Until somebody else really paid attention to it.
Yeah.
So. All right, so we're going to take another break. We will come back and we'll go over, there's not a lot of news here. There really, really isn't. So feel free to join us in Discord and tell us what you've been playing, because we're going to have a whole hour to fill, and there's just not a lot going on video game-wise. Mm-hmm. There really, really isn't. I need to crack open my Game Pass. Ooh, Scorn should be coming out pretty soon, I think. But I need to crack open my Game Pass on Microsoft and see what's been new, what's been added, and put some time in with something to give it a shot. I am interested in playing. I'm totally down for God of War Ragnarok, which means for Wendy, I need to go back and play God of War again, which I think I would like to do with the New Game Plus, because I've already finished it. I would like to go back through that with that New Game Plus. The interesting part of the New Game Plus is that whole, you didn't play God of War Ragnarok, or God of War, did you?
No.
The whole thing with God of War is it goes through this thing, and there are story beats that are not necessarily revelations to the player, but they're revelations to the characters within the story. Mm-hmm. However, when you start New Game Plus, you're still going to hit those story beats, but the items you're using, the weapons you're using, all of that stuff would come from these story beats. You already have them. So it's a little weird when you're playing for so long and come to this point and the characters have to act like this is the first time they've stumbled upon these things.
That's nothing new. New game. Look,
I guess it is. I guess you're right in some sense.
Because look, the Soul series. You played New Game Plus, New Game Plus,
I have
Plus.
no idea.
Yeah, well, I have. You played it over and over again. And you know how many? Let's see, how many Dragon Slayer swords I've got from Elden Ring so far.
Yeah,
you pick that thing up every playthrough. So New Game Plus, you got one for every one. So I've got 9, 10 of those things, and picking it up like the first time.
Yeah,
but you just throw it in the you just throw it in storage and keep the one you got from your original playthrough that you've maxed out to full capability and use that one.
I guess so. But I'll still go through it. I'll just have to explain to her when she's watching this. It's like, just understand all this stuff that I'm using, I'm going to discover it again as I play through. And these characters are going to act like it's the first time they've seen this thing, but it's not. And you'll just have to deal with
Unless you
that.
delete your data.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I want to play the New Game Plus.
Okay. Or have her watch it on YouTube.
Maybe. I think she's more engaged when we're playing it together. When she sees it that way. It is, trust me, I think, I don't deny anybody doing that, watching through, because there are some great YouTubers out there, there's some great channels out there who will give you a good sense of a game's story without a lot of the stuff in between that gamers have to play in order to get that story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They'll do nice little cuts of the cutscenes and of story beats, things like that, where you can watch that through, and still get an idea of what's going on. It can be tough because part of the investment is being engaged in these characters, and you get that more from the gameplay than you do from cutscenes. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know about that.
Well, I think
if it's truly story based, your story is what's going to be moving the game.
It is, but to get
to the next part of the story, you have to go through this trial, like a bunch of
to get invested. Get invested in that character, to feel like you know, the immersion, I suppose you could say, of where I am. Joel or Ellie, from Last of Us, that sort of thing. Yeah. Now that's probably a bad example because I think you probably could get a better idea of just watching cutscenes.
I mean, if there's a bunch of videos about a game that says it's just a compilation of cutscenes. You get the gist of everything going through. You really don't need to know the fights or whatnot that they're going through because they talk about it in the cutscenes or tell you what's going on.
But that's another point towards, and I'll just say it's a point towards Naughty Dog to even during gameplay they put a lot of story beats in their gameplay. Just take Last of Us for instance. If I were only doing the cutscenes, I would miss the part where Joel comes into the house and sits there and talks to his daughter about what's going on outside. I would miss all the dialogue between Joel and his brother and their kid as they're driving away from the house and everything was going, upside down for them as far as...
You're controlling anything in that?
You are, yeah. Yeah, you're controlling the driving and stuff like that.
Or just the camera?
I want to say you're controlling the driving, even though it's still linear.
I don't know if I control the vehicle.
Really? I'd have to go back and see. I thought you did. No, there is a part because before that whole scene ends. Yeah, the prelude. Yeah. Before that whole thing ends, like you are running through the town.
You're running through the town, yeah. I get that part.
And there is control there. And you're still getting some dialogue. You're still getting, I don't know, I think you're getting more invested. They're putting, the designers are putting that onto you that, that was a close call, glad we survived that. That was another close call, glad we survived that. Only to, have what happens happen. But
okay, you call failing in a fail state in that?
I don't know. I don't remember. I never tried to. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to say if you're controlling anything, there's got to be a fail state in there somewhere.
I think there is one though, because I know that when the car wrecks, you have to do like not a quick time event, but you have to sit there and smash a button to kick the window open to crawl out of. Okay. And I imagine if you just left it there for a while, it would be game over or something. Yeah. I would imagine. I don't know. There's a lot of games where I don't ever try and figure that out. You know what I'm saying? I don't ever look for a fail state in some of those games. I suppose I should, but I don't know. I never let it get that far.
So something to get you involved in there, so you're not just a spectator, basically.
Right. Like I said, some YouTubers are good at putting these things together that you can sit there and watch. So we'll see. Anyway, we talked way over time on this, so we need to go. Here is music from Super Smash Brothers Brawl. It is the Luigi's Mansion music from that. So it's not Luigi's Mansion, although honestly it could be. I don't think I've ever played Luigi's Mansion. But anyway, we'll be back with more of In-Game Chat right after this. Welcome back to In-Game Chat. So you got two Luigi's Mansions there back to back. One was from Super Smash Brothers Brawl. This one is called Twisted Mansion. Is from Mario Kart 8. So, same thing. Mostly. Anyway, welcome back to the show. It is spooky season. That's why we use the fun music here during the month of October. We've been doing that now for, God, I don't know when we started that, but it's been going on for a while. Next week I got music. They're remix tracks, but and I'll go over this stuff next week when I talk about it. But there's an album that was released, and I need to look that up real quick. It's from Scarlet Moon. It's just called Halloween Volume 1. And it's a remix set that features music from Metroid, Castlevania, Silent Hill, Resident Evil, and some others as well. So, we'll go over that. It's about 7 tracks on the album. And these are remixes. These are not, I thought it was like orchestrations, of tracks, but no, these are remix music. He's going for that one. Sorry, we got a football game on in here as well. Good Lord. I don't know how many yards that was, but that was a long run. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Yeah, it's football season. So.
And it's Alabama. There you go.
I know, right? So what else we got on the news, y'all? Yeah, the remaster that we were talking about. It's Horizon Zero Dawn, which
Too early.
that doesn't need a remaster, does it?
No, it doesn't.
I honestly didn't think Last of Us needed a remake, remaster, whatever they did with Last of Us to go to PS5. Mm-hmm. I didn't think that was needed. I get why it was. It probably did pretty well, but I didn't think it was necessary. Multiple reports say the original game is getting a PS5 remaster on Sunday, citing sources a new version of the Guerrilla Games open world video game is being built for PS5. It was uncertain if this was just a remaster, kind of like Last of Us remastered on PS4, or if it's a built from the ground up remake. I don't think that'll be the case. Either way, the PS5 version of Zero Dawn will apparently feature improved lighting, overhauled textures, better animations, and character models that look more like their Forbidden West counterparts. In addition to the graphical improvements, the game will feature updated accessibility with quality of life options for players similar to what the sequel added. They also reported a Horizon multiplayer game, complete with co-op play, is in the works at Guerrilla Games. These reports have been corroborated by Video Games Chronicle, which referred to the project as a Horizon Zero Dawn remaster. None of the sources gave a timeline for when the remaster would be released. I mean, it's on PC, I think, isn't it? Yeah, there's a Steam version of Zero Dawn that was released in 2020. There was a performance patch on PS5 released in 2021. So, yeah. Little too soon.
Yeah.
To me.
There's a lot of things, everything you just mentioned.
It's backwards compatible.
Yeah, everything you mentioned just adds more to the belief that this is just completely unnecessary or a money grab.
Money grab,
Money
yeah.
grab more than anything else.
I guess, is it a money grab? You know? If you can still play the PS4 version on PS5, you know, you're still going to have your PS5 version at a $70 markup. And then you're going to have that PS4 version sitting over there at whatever price it is. I think it's on the greatest hits thing, right? Mm-hmm. $19, $20?
If that.
So, yeah.
I got it for $15.
I don't get why you would do that.
Yeah. I mean, I have Horizon Zero Dawn, but it was years ago. So PS4, but it was $15 with the greatest hits, all the DLC and everything. That's so, yeah.
I don't know. It's another reason I don't understand this whole Last of Us Part 1 remake thing that they did for PS5. Look, it looks great.
Yeah, that was called money grab. That was called a money grab quick.
I would think so. I mean, it looks good. I'm not going to deny the fact that, hey, this is the best version of the Last of Us Part 1 that you can play. It's better than The Last of Us Remastered. It's better than playing Last of Us Remastered on PS5. Mm-hmm. But it's not necessary, really.
I don't know, maybe I'm in the minority on this, but I just never cared. I mean, looks, I'm expecting your game to look good in this day and age. I mean, and a significant upgrade in it, and just the visuals. Mm-hmm. It's not something to get worked up or excited about, to me.
It holds up.
How well do you perform? I mean, this game perform?
Yeah.
Well. And since it's a story-based game, I'm more interested in story than anything else.
It is. The game holds up, obviously. I mean, even if you were playing Last of Us Remastered that released on PS4, on the PS5, the game holds up. Mm-hmm. I was playing Last of Us Part 2. Was that a 5 release or was that a PS4 release? That was PS4, wasn't it?
That's 4.
Yeah.
4.
God, it's so hard to... Time is weird.
Well, yeah, well, look, a lot of these things come out on both systems now, so it's kind of hard to say, but yeah, 4.
Yeah, time's really weird. So that was a PS4 release for Last of Us Part 2. It looked really good. Mm-hmm. I am sure they're going to remaster or remake or whatever they're doing for the PS5 for Last of Us Part 2 as well. I feel certain they're probably already working on it.
What do you think that'll sell?
When or how?
How well do you think it'll sell?
Good point.
Because at this point, it's like one of the sticking points for Last of Us remastered, that remake they did. Mm-hmm. It's like, who at this point doesn't know the story of Last of Us? Not a lot of people who don't know it.
I know.
And Last of Us 2 is getting there, especially with the controversy that folks had with that game before it came out and after it came out.
Well, I don't think they had to do anything special. They didn't have to bring in actors and do reshoots or anything like that. They just had to up the look of the game, I suppose. So it probably, I don't know, it probably didn't take a lot of, time and effort.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They probably put some people on there, but not a lot. While they went on to make, I guess they're working on some multiplayer type game.
That's something else that bugs me. Why multiplayer in a story-based game?
Just,
No.
It ain't, I just look at it and I'm like, okay, that's not for me.
This ain't Call of Duty.
I know.
Call of Duty is Call of Duty is geared for multiplayer play, right?
Every time they do it, I just look at it and I say, I guess that's just not for me. You guys, okay, that's fine. Yeah. Go ahead. And I hope people who want that enjoy it, but I'll just wait for the next thing you do.
Like I love playing Dead Space, but Dead Space had a multiplayer in there at one point, and I stayed clear away from that because that wasn't what I wanted the game for.
Speaking of Dead Place. Dead Place, Dead Space. Did you see the gameplay trailer?
Yeah.
I mean, looked like Dead Space, didn't it?
Looked like Dead Space, yeah. Touch up. Now, is Isaac? Am I off on this? Was Isaac talking like a?
He was talking.
Yeah. So they put like in Dead Space 2 and later on.
In fact, somebody on our other Discord, the clan chat for in-game chat for Destiny or whatever, we have a section in there where you can just talk about video games, and so somebody in there posted the trailer, and then somebody was asking, are they using the same voice actors from Dead Space? I guess maybe it sounded different. I don't know. So,
is it Gunnar Wright or?
I don't know who it was. I do not know. Let's see. They will also include gameplay improvements. Oh, there's new narrative elements. Wait a second. While remaining true to the game's vision, Motive has completely rebuilt the game from the ground up in the Frostbite game engine. This time out, players will find there's more to learn on the Ishimura as they relive the story with newly added narrative elements. Along with those new narrative elements, they will also include gameplay improvements such as the peeling system. The peeling system? With it, necromorphs have been reconstructed and will feature layered flesh, tendons, and bones that break, tear, and shatter. There's the new Intensity Director, which dynamically adjusts what shows up in Isaac's path. This includes necromorph spawns, how players will choose to attack them, and environmental effects, such as light, smoke, particles, and sound will also be noted. Isaac's heartbeat, breathing, and exertions also adjust based on his stress level to provide players direct feedback into his mental, emotional, and physical state. Originally a silent protagonist, this time out players will hear more from Isaac via new narrative enrichments voiced by Gunnar Wright, the original voice of Isaac in Dead Space 2 and Dead Space 3. There will be no load screen or camera cut, so they can enjoy exploring the restored ship and its new rooms, routes, and obstacles without any interruption. So, sounds good. Yes, Ninja Bibs, there is a Discord. I will see about getting you one. Getting you a link to an invite. If you want to, just go to our in-game chat page, go all the way to the bottom, there's a link. ingamechat.net, go there, go to all the way to the bottom of the page. You'll see links where you can get in touch with us with Facebook and everything else, and there is a Discord link. I don't know if that link still works, to be honest with you. Now, I've set everything up so that the invite never dies, that sort of thing. It lasts forever, and that's what I use to link you to the Discord. Should still work, but I've never really had these things ever stay active. They always expire for some reason. Even when I tell them not to, they always expire. Oh, he says it works. Wonderful. In fact, if we go over here, there's Ninja Bibs. Well, hello. There you go. And then, if you go down to the on-air voice chat, you can actually join us on the air and talk to us on the show about whatever we're talking about. So, yeah, feel free. You can join in. So, oh man, did you see the? I'll go to Discord. Go if you can see the Discord right there. You got it?
I'm on Discord. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me show you. Is it this one? No. Is it this one? It's this one. Look at that. There's a PlayStation 5 sitting next to an RTX 4080. I think that's a 4080. Is it a 4080 or a 40? No, it's a 4090. There's a PlayStation 5 sitting next to a 4090 video card. Uh-huh. Do you see that?
I see two bricks sitting on that table. Good
exactly.
Lord.
You can put a PlayStation 5 in your PC now. Like a legit PlayStation 5. Not the power of a PlayStation 5. You can just actually fit a PlayStation 5 console into your PC now. Seemingly. Lengthwise, yes. The thing is massive.
Yeah.
It's huge. It is a gigantic card. Reviewers finally got a hold of the cards this week.
Yeah.
And so now they're bringing it out. The cards are released this month, and so reviewers finally got their chance to, test them out.
Yeah.
Which I have no interest whatsoever.
You think like technology is like, the idea is like getting smaller, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, more smaller, more convenient. Video cards like one of the few technologies I can think of that just keeps getting bigger. Bigger every
It has to
every
with what they're
iteration.
doing to it. They haven't really... you know what? I say it has to. I know the chips are getting smaller, or at least should be. I know they're not getting bigger, but that's just a big chunk of card.
If this keeps up, mid-tier tires are going to be obsolete. You're going to have to get that big server size case.
Oh, your towers? Yeah. No, you cannot do you can't do a mini PC build with one of those cards. Then again, most people
say you can't do a mid with that.
Mid?
That thing.
Yeah, I know. Probably not.
Yeah, or you could, but you'd have to be very creative with your space, with your cooling and everything.
I don't remember. I know the dimensions are out there. I don't remember what the dimensions are.
Too big.
Oh, no, totally. But the thickness of it and the length of it is just too much for my... I mean,
It's a thick boy.
You're going to have to buy, full towers to build these things.
Yeah.
Mids just won't cut it anymore.
Yeah. Think you see a price drop from that?
I got to remember. I got to figure out if mine's a mid tower or if mine's a full. I thought mine was a full. I think mine classifies as a full. Mm-hmm. And yet,
That'd be a tight fit in there?
Well, it's not a tight fit lengthwise, but the width, the how far it comes to touching the glass on my case is enough to where I couldn't use the regular cables. I had to use these 90-degree...
the 90-degree bent cables?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I needed not to come out and bend.
Yeah.
I needed to actually 90-degree go up and then 90-degree go back so that I could plug in the thing about it. So the cables too.
Cables, yeah.
Because otherwise I wouldn't be able to close the case. The cords would stick out too much. Mm-hmm. So that's how it is now. I can't imagine what it'll be with that thing. I can't imagine, and I won't because I'm not going to own one. Never going to have one of those cards. I don't ever see myself having one of those cards.
Yeah.
I'm really, really looking forward to seeing what they're going to do, what AMD is going to do in November. I'd really like to know. Could be good, could be bad. We'll find out. Speaking of good or bad, we're going to talk about Activision Blizzard, basically Overwatch 2, which came out this week. It didn't have a good launch, and it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the game. It had to do
access.
Yeah, it had to do with
access,
access to the game.
Yeah.
So we'll be going over that here in just a bit. Got more music for you for spooky season. Wendy picked out all these tracks, by the way. This one comes from Bloodborne. The track is called Omen.
You know what? That deserves a remake more than Horizon Zero Dawn.
Bloodborne, yeah.
That
Yeah, but
deserves
see,
a remake.
Bloodborne's not a Sony first-party studio type thing, is it? It's not.
From Software.
But it's still exclusive to Sony?
Might be. Or it could be on PC. Either way, it deserves a remake sooner than Horizon Zero Dawn.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would totally agree with you on that. Anyway, this comes from Bloodborne. It is called Omen. We will be back with more of In-Game Chat right after this. Welcome back to In-Game Chat. Music here from Fatal Frame 4. The Tsukimori song is the name of this track. I have never played a Fatal Frame game.
Little
The concept was always interesting.
Yeah, it's the only defense you have against the spirits in the game is a camera.
Yeah,
you have to trap the ghosts in the frame of your shot. Yeah.
Never did play it, though. Never played a single one. I don't play a lot of the horror games and stuff. But Scorn, which I originally thought was going to be like, jump scare heavy, or not even jump scare heavy, but like heavy first-person shooter. Mm-hmm. Seemingly from the early previews, seems to say it's falling into more puzzler than it is shooter. Some shooting aspects, but more environmental puzzle type stuff.
So a spooky version of The Witness?
Right, sure, give me that all day.
Mm-hmm.
Give me that all day. I wasn't necessarily hoping for that. I just looked at it from what we had seen earlier and thought, it's a shooter. Okay, I'll probably play it. Just going to bang, 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 go right through it. But never really thinking that, boy, I hope it's got some puzzle elements. Or, boy, I really hope there's some other aspect to it, other than the cool aesthetic. I mean, the aesthetic is enough. But the fact that they're putting in environmental puzzles and things like that, yes, please. I will take 2 of them. Thank you. Love that type of game. And the fact that and I'm glad they did that. I mean, getting off on a rant, but I'm glad they did that because the world, or at least the aesthetic that they have built, is just amazing to look at. It's got the whole Geiger thing going on, very alien, reminiscent of, alien designs, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. If this was just a shooting game, it's unlikely I would pay any attention to that. It would have no meaning. Mm-hmm. But the fact that this is like a puzzler type thing to it, it means you're going to look at the environment. You're going to play through it slower. Mm-hmm. There's not going to be a run and gun type of stuff. There are guns, there are shooting aspects to it, but it's more defined by the fact that it's a puzzler than it is a shooter. So, yeah, I am. Thar 66 says most streamers who played about an hour or so loved it, and so yeah, I'm glad. That's really, really good. Hey, speaking of Thar 66, we've got AC Wraith in there. We got Ninja Bibs hanging out as well. Commander Roots, Lara Craft, Offbeat Live. I don't know what that is. Rogue. I'll just say Rogue Girl. It's got a 1 in there. Stephen Van Dam, Thar 66, and Valentina Alcarez, I think is I could be butchering these names, and I apologize. But if you've watched us for any length, you know that's what I do. It's my calling card. I can't speak, said the man on the radio. Let's talk about. Oh, go ahead.
I was something I was thinking about with your. This is a beta or a demo they got for Scorn.
No, it was a press preview.
Oh, okay, press preview.
Yeah, some people got about an hour's worth of playtime with it. It's kind of like Gotham Knights. Gotham Knights had a press preview as well. Mm-hmm. It was limited. They had certain sections they were able to play for a certain amount of time. Mm-hmm. I watched somebody, and I wish I could remember the YouTuber that I watched. He talked about his experience, and in fact, most of the consensus was that a lot of people weren't really. Like, hey, it's not bad, but it's really not great. You know, it's
meh.
It is very like middle of the road here. It is nothing spectacular. It doesn't hold up to the Arkham games, but a lot of people saying, but at the same time, we shouldn't compare it to that because this is not that. It is not a Rocksteady built game. They are going in a completely different direction story-wise than usually what Rocksteady would do. They're trying to develop something else with it. They're trying to do different things, so applaud them for that, that sort of thing. And I do, but if it doesn't work, man, stick with what works. Stick with what works, or start a little slower if you're going to be changing all this stuff. Stick with what works and introduce some other aspects of what you want to go down, and then the next game, expand on those. De-emphasize the connections to the Arkham stuff. Lower that a little bit and increase the amount of time spent doing, the new stuff that you're throwing in there, along with more new stuff that you're throwing in there as well, mechanical-wise, Yeah. Like there's a level-up system, but the Arkham games always had that. But there's an inventory. Is it inventory? What am I trying to say? Skill trees. There's skill trees, which Batman had.
Yeah.
But then there is... What is it called? It's not an inventory screen, but it's a screen where you can change out your costume, you can change out some of the weapons that you use.
Equipment screen.
Yeah, something like that. That, hey, this one's going to be the loot that you get. The loot screen where you can equip and unequip items and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They're putting that in there. I'm for it. Maybe if it works.
If they implement it right, it'll be fine. Yeah. Make it as seamless as possible.
One of the YouTubers did a comparison as far as like, here's Gotham City and Gotham Knights, here's Gotham City and Arkham Knight, and Arkham Knight is 7 years old, I think, maybe 9. I think it's 7. 7 years old for Arkham Knight, and their Gotham looks far better than the Gotham in Gotham Knights that's coming out later this month.
Arkham Knight was June 23rd, 2015.
Yeah, so 7 years. 7 years old, and the thing looked so much. That Gotham in Arkham Knight looked just. It was really good. City-wise, skyline-wise, that sort of thing looked really good. Gotham Knights apparently doesn't have that. They built a city, but it seems lifeless. Very little people on the roads and that sort of thing on the streets.
No effort, minimal effort?
Well, I mean, he wasn't ready to critique it yet because he realized he wasn't playing a final build.
Okay, yeah. That's true, yeah.
And they were given limited time in the open world aspect of the game. Most of the time was spent on story missions, then with some combat, and then with some boss fights. So, yeah. They liked the combat in the game, but... the city traversal was like, meh. The city itself was really meh. Just the overall look of the game itself was lower than what we had gotten out of something 7 years ago.
Yeah, well, like I said, this 7 years ago was a completely finished product. This one is still in the.
It is, but it comes out on the 22nd of this month, I believe.
So that might be it then.
Ain't much. Hi, you're on In-Game Chat. Who's this?
Alexi Gambler.
Oh, hey man, how's it going?
Oh, I'm doing good. Hey, what Supermassive Games coming out with something, on their newest installment in October? I haven't heard anything.
If they were, I don't remember. If they were, they haven't said anything yet because I didn't come across any kind of news recently.
It's something about, it's almost like an autopsy game or something. I don't know from the cover photo they had out there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but who knows it'll be a good story with it. Hey, I don't understand what the big deal is about Aaron Judge hitting 62 home runs. Because right now I'm at 70 home runs.
With who? With who? Who are you with? Who are you at?
I'm with the show.
No. I'm saying, who are you playing with that has hit 70 home runs?
Oh, because I started with the Biloxi Shuckers, which is the AA or AAA team for Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm a rookie. It's my first year.
It's your first year, and you've hit 70 home runs in a season.
Yeah, because we just flipped over to the 1st of September, and I'm at 70 home runs. I got a .495 batting average. I'm going to get the Golden Glove Award, the MVP. I'm number 1 for Silver Slugger. I mean, this baseball's easy.
Why are they still throwing to you?
Well, I don't know. It's because it's a stupid game. But, hey, when I was in school, we used to play softball. Now I can't play baseball because it's too small. And they throw it too fast.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
And but in softball, the reason I quit playing softball, of course, this is in school. I'm a kid, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I would hit a home run. I mean, every time I would hit, I had good high hand coordination because I'm a good bowler, right? But it would go over the fence. But in school, they called that an automatic out. Made me go find the ball in the briars.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but in real life, it don't work that way. So, anyway, that kind of ended my athletic career. So now I'm just playing video games. All right, guys.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you later.
Take care, man.
I was just about to mention, if he was still listening, the last thing I see released for Supermassive is
Devil in Me.
The Devil in Me, and that's out November, I believe.
That comes out in November, but I think they probably have an announcement. I feel like he's right on that.
Yeah.
It's going to come out November 18th, by the way.
Yeah. Is it the last of the Dark Pictures anthology? Because I know I got Man of Medan, Little Hope.
It's for like season 1, yeah.
Yeah. Man of Medan, Little Hope, House of Ashes. Now The Devil in Me.
Yeah, it'll be the last of the Dark Pictures anthology.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I got the first 2. I didn't get House of Ashes. I don't think I have. And this, of course, the Devil in Me. And then something called Jurassic Encounter in Shattered State.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, something is TBA. So, not
yeah, I should look up music from the Quarry and stuff. Use it for the spooky season that we're doing. Jumping back over to Overwatch 2, which released this week. An Overwatch player by the name of, his name's Richard Munster, whatever. Anyway, an Overwatch player told Kotaku that it feels like I'm being punished for being poor. Along with 19 million other people, Richard and his brother both use Cricket Wireless, one of the prepaid phone services that Overwatch 2 will not accept for its newly instated mandatory two-factor authentication system. It's something called SMS Protect. I am a proponent of two-factor authentication. I really am. I think it's that extra level of protection on your account, whether that be a Facebook account, whether that be a gaming account, whether it be a bank account, whether it be anything. I have a massive amount of two FAs is what they are, not TFAs, two FAs that I have to keep up with.
Yeah. Definitely has its uses in place, yeah.
Yeah, every single Overwatch 2 player, including those who had previously purchased Overwatch, need to provide a phone number that fits certain requirements in order to start the game. As part of those requirements, numbers can't be attached to a prepaid phone plan, landline, or use voice over IP. Though what remains of Blizzard's heart seems to be in the right place, the developer hopes the requirement will cut down both cheating and disruptive behavior. But players like people who I guess use Cricket Wireless are forgotten, not because they don't play well or don't care or don't want to have fun, but because they can't afford the right kind of phone. Prepaid phone plans like Cricket and Mint Mobile allow people to pay the cost of their usage up front. Though unfairly maligned as burner phones, prepaid phones are easier to incorporate into low-income budgets with monthly costs usually between $15 to $50. Some companies like AT&T even advertise prepaid services. Let's see. Richard, he's a college student. He uses their $50 monthly plan because if you can't pay it that month, they just shut down the phone instead of taking you to collections. If I get a regular phone plan and then can't pay, my credit score gets destroyed. At one point in 2020, there were 74 million prepaid phone plan users in the United States alone, so he is far from being the only Overwatch player that is being phased out. One Reddit user says, I'm ashamed of having a prepaid phone. He received 1,000 upvotes in less than 24 hours on a Reddit post. Never thought I would be disqualified from playing Overwatch based on my ability to afford a phone contract, but here we are. Blizzard is the first company to make me feel too poor to play a game. Another comment. Cannot believe Blizzard is denying people with prepaid phone plan access to Overwatch 2. Why does it matter how I pay my phone bill? 6 years of my life, all the time, money and progress down the drain. Now, I will update this because after all of that, Blizzard announced that it is no longer asking for a phone number for a majority of existing players, prepaid or not. Their post says that any Overwatch player with a connected Battle.net account, which needs two-factor authentication, by the way, which includes all players who have joined since June 9th of 2021, last year, will not have to provide a phone number to play. We are working to make this change and expect it to go live on Friday, October the 7th, but we will update players once it's in effect. We remain committed to blah, 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 stuff. Yeah, I know, all that other stuff.
Yeah.
So
PR speak.
Yeah. The interesting thing is that phone number thing is also tied to Modern Warfare 2 that is coming out in a couple of weeks, I guess. I don't know really when it's coming out. But it has the same no prepaid phone requirement as Overwatch 2. It's called SMS Protect, like I said. Requiring a phone number for ranked play is nothing new. Dota 2 implemented such a policy way back in 2017. Rainbow Six Siege has the same requirement. But demanding one to access the game at all and excluding a large chunk of potential players based solely on their choice of phone plan is an entirely different level of restrictiveness. Yet Overwatch 2 isn't the only game rolling with that rule. It turns out that Modern Warfare 2 wants the same thing. The phone notifications page on the Battle.net support site states that Modern Warfare 2, Overwatch 2, and newly created Modern Warfare accounts all require a phone number in order to allow access. So there's that. Adding a phone number will allow Blizzard Entertainment to send you notifications when important changes are made to your account. Any mobile phone in a supported country with a data plan and that is not prepaid or voice over IP can be used with this service. So it is definitely strange, and Blizzard's decision to drop the phone requirement for some existing Overwatch accounts does nothing about the restriction on prepaid phones. So they've dropped it on some existing Overwatch accounts, not all. That leaves newcomers to Overwatch 2 and anyone who wants to play Modern Warfare 2 out of luck if they have a prepaid plan. Still running into this, huh? They dropped it, just didn't drop it for everybody.
So it's a knee-jerk reaction to that post?
It seems like it. It seems like it's something they could go back and say, okay, we kind of screwed this up. Let's go back and let's relax those restrictions a little bit. Mm-hmm. You know, something where we can, we can do this two-factor authentication, but let's let them go through some other way. I never had this SMS Protect when I had a Battle.net account, but I did have two-factor authentication. I can't remember how it worked at the time.
Yeah.
But I did have it.
Yeah, two-factor wasn't new to you at the time. You used it before.
It wasn't. I was using it because I was playing Destiny on Battle.net.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I do remember that.
This whole situation reminds me of that incident with that engineer at Xbox when people in the Midwest had poor internet connection and couldn't use their Xbox thing. I guess it was just a concept of not having the concept or experience with having poor internet use or something along those lines.
I can't remember dude's name, but I still remember like his icon on Twitter and stuff.
Was it Mike Orth or something?
Adam Orthy, I think.
Orth, okay.
Adam Orth. Orthy, I think, was the name he used for Twitter, but it was Adam Orth. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You got that. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of.
Like oh, God, he's such a pompous, oh, man.
Yeah, it was just basically someone who didn't understand the concept that some people don't have access to what you have. Or like he's the man who wrote the Reddit post. Okay, he's in college, probably struggling with finances, whatnot, and a prepaid phone is affordable and it allows him to communicate. So that's what he has access to. That's what he gets, but he can't use that for anything else. So
nope.
Some folks don't have the concept of having to go through that. So,
I remember that thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been some blunders.
Not a good look.
He took some flack for that. So much so that I think he had to get rid of his Twitter account for a while. He's back on it, and I think he took a lot of heat for that comment.
Yeah, he did.
And I'm not saying it was unjust. The heat he took for the comment.
It was almost that what's that saying? Marie Antoinette, let them eat cake.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
very much a sense of entitlement and just as though there is no other world that exists besides the one that you experience in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody has internet or whatever the case may have been. I can't remember what it was, but it was so blind.
Yeah.
Just to say that. So yeah. Anyway, I think we've covered everything today as far as everything I had down here. Let me say there were plans for a sequel to Black from Criterion. I should have gone over this when we were talking about Criterion earlier, working on Need for Speed. But former staff members at Criterion revealed their scrap plans for a sequel to first-person shooter Black. It launched in 2006 for PlayStation 2 and the original Xbox. I still have my copy. I also have it on backwards compatible for the Xbox One. The most notable plans were to include network gameplay for co-op with a recovery system if one player was down. The lack of multiplayer had been a criticism of the original. I think the subtitle was going to be Rendition, said someone else. The idea centered on American troops going overseas, kidnapping people, and bringing them back across borders. I'm not sure that there was a fully fledged story mapped out, though. God, I didn't, you know what? Black was something I was interested in because it was Criterion and they were trying to do for first-person shooters what they did for arcade racers with destruction environments. Apparently the sound in the game and the shooting in the game were top-notch. But I would have to go back and play that. Crystal Dynamics has sent out some surveys about the Legacy of Kain series. And Duke Nukem Forever's record for the longest game in development time has now been overshadowed by Beyond Good and Evil 2. And will carry that title for quite a while, because I don't think we're anywhere near the release of Beyond Good and Evil 2. So that is going to wrap things up for us, folks. Thank you so much for joining us in the chat room, as well as listening to us on the radio, on Twitch, however you get our show. We're going to put it up on iTunes later on tonight, or it'll be there in the morning anyway. It'll also be up on YouTube in the morning. The video will be as well. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can subscribe to us on iTunes, Twitch. Go to our Discord page and join our Discord chat channel if you'd like to. We've got a Steam group on Steam. We just want to thank everybody for tuning in each week and joining us to listen to us just sit here and chat about games. We really appreciate it. So thank you, everybody. Have a great week. We'll see you next Saturday. I'm leaving you here with music from Silent Hill 3. It is called Prayer. We'll see you next Saturday. Have a good one. Thanks, RJ, for coming in.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.